really proud of my team tonight, and I really think that our experiences last year in the League's Cup, in playoffs. We said we're a young team, and we might have gotten younger this year, but I'm proud of the way they stepped out on the pitch tonight against a good team, tough elements, and we went to out there to win the game and to attack LAFC. So I think it's a halftime lead essentially going into their building. We put ourselves in a chance to advance. I'm grateful that the fans came out that did and braved those elements. We don't take that lightly, that it's tough conditions, but that means a lot to every single Rapid member of our club. And yeah, look, it's again, I think it's a gutsy, gritty victory tonight again against a good team, and it was great to see Georgi Mihalovic get on the score sheet the way he did. You can see that he's done this for us last year, and it's a good start for him this year. The free kick is terrific, and I'm glad that he gets rewarded for that because he spends a lot of time on that stuff after training.
Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Chris, you've had some cold weather to train in recently, but maybe nothing that was quite we had 0 degrees. How do you prepare for that, and how does the team go about adjusting it to it, given the weather, the way the ball's coming off their foot, everything hurting? How do you deal with that as a team?
We don't talk too much about that. So in terms of preparation, especially because you don't know exactly what it's going to be like, because the weather does change around here quickly. But I think the way we prepare for it is by not making too much of a deal about it. We when we had the chance to go indoor, we said no, we're going to train outdoor. So we just get used to it. Prepare as best we can to try to replicate what that would be like. So we were in our stadium, we trained there, we've been on the turf, we've been outdoors, and then of course the equipment crew that we got with Hayden, and they make sure those guys are set up the best they can to just try to stay warm and the best they can. It's there's no two ways about it. It's just really difficult for both teams. But I think again it was a gritty performance that way. It's a big challenge that the guys, I think, dealt with just fine.
Braden Nurse with the Denver Post, kind of a similar question. When you're in it and you play 45 minutes, you go into a heated locker room, what do you tell the team that there's 45 more minutes of this?
Well, at halftime, there's a couple of tactical things we wanted to discuss in a very calm way, which is how we do things. So it's a couple of adjustments. We have video. We talk a few ways we think we can gain the edge going out into the second half. And some of it's based on what we did in the first half. That was good. So some of it's continue doing, and maybe we can tweak a little bit. But I think at halftime was also about creating the feeling that we got this. That's what I think we all felt like. We're going to wear them down. We're going to get a couple of goals. This is what we talked about at halftime. We actually said 2, and we got 2, But it's more so just calming the guys down. Let them – what do they need from Chris Armas at that point? They need heat. You know what I'm saying? They need warmth. They need to get some fluids in and just to relax a little bit. It's a little stress what they experience out there, really, physically and, of course, mental and emotional stress. So it's a little bit of tactics, lots of little recovery, ramp up the confidence to get them going again.
Hi, Coach. Keith Richards, Team NBS Media. Not only did you have to deal with the cold today, but you had 3 or 4 different people on the back line than at the start of last season. Wonder what your thoughts were between Reggie, Cheeto, and Ian, and any updates on Reggie so far?
Yeah, look, we say 5 bodies, 1 mind. 4 in the back there with Zach. And I think that Zach was important on the night, just being steady for us. Crosses, these set-piece moments. I mean, one gets through. I'm not sure if it was offside, but whatever. And I think Keegan's leadership was important in that fairly new back line, that back look, right? So, but I will say that I thought there's not a lot of fullbacks in this league that I think can deal with Bouanga. And I think Reggie did a good job on the night. Strong 1v1 performance, robust, up for it, confident, bold, as we have on the wall here. I think he did a really good job in terms of his. He can't, it comes off with a little knock there. They're looking at his leg now, his knee. The initial thought structure that he's all right, So, but you gotta let things settle down a little bit, and they're looking at him now. But with Cheeto and Ian, I think it was strong performance center of the defense. I think they all night long. I mean, even Cheeto picks up a yellow card, but was disciplined, was savvy, looked like a veteran out there. And I thought Ian Murphy had a really strong performance. So we've talked about tidying things up in the back line and taking away big chances and defending outside the box and lots of little things. And we repped that in preseason in a good way. And I think tonight paid some dividends for that.
Hey, Coach. Dwayne Brown, DMVR. You talked in the offseason, kind of really beat the drum for speaking about defense, really being more aggressive, certainly more aggressive in transitions and kind of taking away some of the challenges of last year. We started to see some of that tonight. Like, how do you feel about starting to see some of that come to fruition against a really good side like LAFC?
Yeah, look, it's a little bit of a strange one because I do think the elements throws them off a little bit. What they can do with the ball, how comfortable they are. You can see there's some mishaps with the ball skipping around. It's cold. However, if we talk about structurally, I think it was pretty solid in terms of giving up big chances, and there's lots of little half things in there. When we talk about defending, we talk about first controlling the game with the ball. So if you have these cheap giveaways, this could always lead to moments when you're wide open. So on the night, there wasn't a ton of those bad giveaways. That's the first part. I think when you look at defending, you talk about Georgie, Mihalovic, and Rafa, their proximity to each other, their proximity to the next midfield line. I think they were engaged all night long. It's a big part of it. And then, it's always about our structure as an organization. So that's with and without the ball to help control transition, how we use our fullbacks as we progress, more interior to deal with transition moments. And then just as a unit, just real pride in what we're doing and how we're defending. And there's lots of little nuances in there, but we'll have to see. We'll test ourselves as the season gets going. Every game will pose different challenges, but we were happy with what we saw defensively tonight.
Hi, Coach. Alex Labadie from Goal. As you look at global soccer, the number 10 position is dwindling in most leagues, but in MLS, it's exploding. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are behind that trend and what you see out of Georgie tonight.
Yeah, listen, not every team has that 10. I get it. And some that do play different systems, maybe with 2 10s, something to 3-4-2-1, with 2 10s in those areas. But if you look at certain teams like Arsenal with Odegaard, Madrid with Bellingham, Szoboszlai with Liverpool, I'd say those guys are 10s, right? 2-4-2-3-1, similar role. We talked to Georgie about how he defends up there in the 4-4-2, but true playmakers that, so I think some of the big teams have guys like that, but even those profiles are just box-to-box guys still, even when I'm watching Madrid the other day with, Bellingham will switch with Vinicius. It's almost like to get more defensive role, and it's interesting how different teams use that guy. But listen, we have a pure playmaker in Georgie. He can finish attacks. He's deadly on set pieces. He's one of those guys, what makes a good 10, guys that can make guys around him better. He's our reference point. He calms the game down. So, we certainly benefit from his playmaking ability and his ability to operate in the middle of the pitch.
We'll go to Andy Deosa on Zoom. Hey Chris, you talked about a little bit in the beginning, and you talked about obviously last year. The League's Cup run was magical for you guys, and now you guys have a chance to go back into that building where it kind of ended for you. Just curious your thoughts on the learning process from then to now having a chance so early on to do it again. And speaking of confidence, how confident are you when you see Jordy diving for a free kick in that area?
Yeah, we're very confident that he's going to put something interesting towards goal. We see him work on it every day. He's just always after working on it. And to be honest, we see him rep that one tonight many times from that exact location. I'm not sure we see it go always exactly as beautiful as it was tonight. I think he put it in a really good spot. But yeah, listen, as far as LAFC in that building, 2025, we love to get a crack at it. This is the first time we're going to their building up a goal. So they're a great team for good reason, talented roster, pedigree of winning, good fan base. We love the challenge, but we won't be thinking what happened last year. We're a bold team. We're young. We're fearless. We love it. So we're not going there to play it safe either. So we're going to go there and attack and try to get that next goal.
We'll do about 2 more questions.
Chris, Kevin Cabral drew a number of penalties last year. He draws a penalty in this one. Your thoughts on his performance and maybe what you were talking about in terms of the halftime message, him taking that forward, 10 seconds into the second half?
Listen, Kevin, he loves to run deep, and he loves to run. And you could see when you have him tonight looking like himself, the look it gives us. Reggie Cannon gets the ball a few times in the wide areas, and he's putting Kevin in behind. At halftime, we said he was going to draw a penalty. So he said after, Coach, you were right. But we know, only what we know is that if he puts himself in those areas where all the rules change inside the 18-yard box, that good things can happen for us. So what we ask him and Omir and Calvin and those guys up there is to be aggressive. Last year, we led the league in penalties won. There was some talk about being lucky, but we're trying to get into certain areas and we can induce or force the coincidence, we say. So, yeah, listen, Kevin has this love and ability, and not just to run, but to sprint and repeat. So I'm happy that he reaped the reward there and got us the goal, essentially.
Coach, tonight we saw Sam Bassett make his Rapids debut. Was he aware that he might go in tonight, get those 20 minutes in? And what was the message to him to just come out swinging and making his debut for his hometown team?
Yeah, listen, I'm thrilled for Sam that he gets out there, but he earned those minutes. The reliability that he showed in preseason, that you can count on him. He's tactically intelligent. He's a good frame for set pieces, but for what the demand was in that moment, we thought that it could make some sense. His ability he's got a good mentality. He's a winner, and the game needed some real presence in the wide area. So, yeah, did he know he was going out there? I bet he always thought there was a chance, but no. We have a couple of guys that we can use there, but he's been there in preseason a few times. And the message before he went in, it was just really tactical. Of course, we're more in a 4-4-2, not really a 4-2-4 where he's jumping on the outside, but dropping a little lower to help some overloads in the wide areas. And that was just a simple, clear message. And then, hey, come on, go and enjoy yourself out there. And move your feet around the box so we're not fouling. And, because this was always a message we talk about with the subs that go in when we have a lead.